Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to This Will Be Named Later, a podcast about content creators, the creative culture, if you will. Now, this is a part where I act all professional and tell you what the podcast is about, but I'm not really good at being professional, so let's just keep it a buck. And like I said, we talk about creators from all walks of life, from all mediums, modders, podcasters, video content creators, vloggers, bloggers, everybody in between. But more specifically at this juncture, we're talking about wrestling creators because a lot of us are underserved in the wrestling community, but there's a lot of us creating content and a lot of content that needs to be consumed, that needs to be known about, and needs to be discussed, distributed, and brought forth into a bigger light. So I hope that with this podcast, we can do that and shine a light on some of these people that are making dope ass stuff for the wrestling community. And now a word from our sponsor.
OCWFED is a hybrid pro wrestling e-fed that combines elements of role play and competitive play using the WWE 2K franchise. Whether you're on PlayStation or Xbox, OCWFED is a creative outlet for gamers and pro wrestling fans alike. With over 16 years experience producing weekly content and live Twitch events, OCWFED has a thriving community with handlers from all over the world. If this sounds like your cup of tea, come check us out at OCWFed.com, OCWFedTV on YouTube, and OCWFed on Twitch. It's like D&D for wrestling nerds.
Hello, friends. My name is Jay, and my next guest is a professional wrestler all the way from California on the West Coast, Toxic Trent. In addition to being a professional wrestler, he is also a prolific streamer. So we're going to talk a little bit about his pivot during the Rona from wrestler to streamer, and as of this taping, back to wrestler, because we getting back to normal somewhat. A wonderful conversation, a very candid and honest conversation. For some reason, I apparently get the best out of people. They like talking, so it's good to hear that. But yeah, we get a lot of good information, a lot of honest information, and some trials and tribulation that Trent has to go through that you wouldn't really expect. I said that too fast, but really wouldn't expect from someone who is a professional wrestler. So I hope you enjoyed the conversation. And as always, if you like what you're listening to, hit that like, hit that subscribe. And if you listen on Spotify or whatever, tell your friends and your enemies so we can get this going. If we can get some ratings on iTunes, that'd also be nice, but hey, I ain't pushing it. So without further ado, my talk with the one and only, there is only one, but yeah, with the one and only Toxic Trent. Let's go.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guest with me is Toxic Trent, an independent wrestler based out of California. This is the This Will Be Named Later podcast, and basically a shout out once again to Tim Boogie on the Wrestling Code Discord. He hit me up like at the same thing with Tony Cheney I had a couple weeks ago. Hit me up and said, "Hey, can you vote?" And I'm like, "Okay, dude, no problem." And then I'm voting. And I see different names, so I hit that, and I was like, "Oh, let me investigate." And then I see I kind of got a wind of your story, and essentially Rona done fucked you, but in more triumphant news, as of yesterday, you're back on the scene, crispy and clean. Is that correct, sir?
100% true. I'm hyped as heck. I'm sore. I'm feeling it. I took bumps I promised my wife I wouldn't take.
Oh,
but
no.
It's so...
Oh, no. Oh, goddamn. You feeling good now?
I'm feeling great. My lower back is all sore. My chest looks like roast beef because of all the chops. We had a chop battle. Oh, it was so good. I uploaded the video on my YouTube, so...
And yes, plug the YouTube. We'll plug it at the end, but plug it right now too.
Toxic Trent. Look up the Toxic Trent on YouTube,
and you will find all the action. So what I noticed about you is that when the Rona hit, basically you were like, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do?" And then you pivoted to streaming, which is not many people can do good when they go to streaming. Like once they say I'm going to stream, and then it's like okay, and then it is what it is. But you managed to carve out a pretty not bad niche, given the temperature. So like elaborate on that.
I kind of tried to find a way to like make my personality pop both as a wrestler and a streamer. So I kind of just like moved who I am as a wrestler and just said, screw, I'll transfer it to streaming, and surprisingly it worked. You would think there'd be some type of like, oh, the wrestling fans will jump over. No one jumped over. I didn't have a single fan support me in streaming. Not calling anyone out, but no one joined me. So I had to start from scratch and like build my brand once more But once I built that brand, now they're kind of converging to where wrestling fans jump over to streaming fans jump over to wrestling. I got people into wrestling that I didn't think would ever get into wrestling from streaming.
Oh, that's
So
dope. That's dope.
it's so fun. I can't believe how much fun I'm having. I started as a way to kill time and get my mind off of the craziness and BS that's happening in the world, you know? And it turned out being probably one of the best decisions next to wrestling that I've made in my life.
Yo, it's bugging that you said that, because when I saw it, I was like, oh, hey, his fans moved over. You're like, nah, they didn't. Like, oh shit,
Yeah,
that's double work. Over. That's double work. Wow. So shout out to you, man. Good for you.
The only thing I already had pre-set up was like my Pro Wrestling Tees shirt area, you know?
Yeah.
So I started streaming like, hello, I'm a pro wrestler. People are like, no, you're not. And they look it up. You're like, oh my God, you are. And then they buy a shirt and they're like, oh, hell yeah. I'm friends with a wrestler, you know?
Like I know a wrestler. I'm going to get into, say, like, all right, you're not getting into nothing, but yes, you do know a wrestler. You know how it is. We're going to talk about that later, but you know how it is. So, yeah. So basically, as you pivoted to streaming for the moment, like, did you find any kind of difficulty, busting in? Like, how did you, like, is it just a personality? You had to, like, what you gotta give some of these people secrets. Like, how did you bust through? Because again, it's not easy. I don't know. I'm just curious to see if you had any kind of issues when you made the transition.
I honestly have no idea because to peel back the curtain a little bit, I have major social anxiety, believe it or not.
Oh, word?
I'm horrified of crowds. I'm horrified of talking, but like wrestling kind of broke me out of that shell. So in my mind, it was like, because the first few streams, I don't know if there's video of it anywhere. I'm sure there's not because everything gets deleted. But the first few streams, you could tell I'm like awkward. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of sitting there. My wife's in stream, like rooting me on. I'm like, thanks, babe. But like as time went on, I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? If I just take the idea I have for wrestling where like, because once I get in that ring, everything to me goes black. The fans disappear and just me and my opponent. I see nothing else, which is bad to an extent because I don't work the crowd as well, but it's still, kind of what I do to get into the zone,
Gotcha.
So if I take that same exact thought process and just kind of transfer it to streaming and pretend I'm just Toxic Trent on stream and envelop who I am as a wrestler, as a streamer, it kind of helped me make that transfer a little bit more,
I got you. That's interesting. You said that you got like high levels of anxiety because as someone else, not to take from two of your own social anxiety home, but I too also like suffer from not super high levels, but I don't like people basically. So it's weird to go, hey, you want to go do a podcast to like everybody in between, and some people say yes, some people say no, but having levels of social anxiety, and it's a real thing. Look it up. Mental health is mental wealth. How did you kind of go into becoming a pro wrestler? Because that's a situation where like you really can't be shy because in wrestling, closed mouths don't get fed. You started you were training in 2015 and then 16 you made the jump, right?
Yes, correct.
So tell me basically, I'm jumping around a little bit, but what made you just say, all right, well, I'm nervous in the service, but I got to do what I got to do. Like, what was that thought process like?
So I've lived in California my whole life. And after a while, stuff kind of went down with like my family and everything. And all I had was me and my friend. And we decided to move in with his family in Texas. And I found a wrestling school in Texas. So I just said, screw it. We'll move everything out from California and just drop everything and leave. When I was like 20, the moment I turned 20, I dipped, left everyone behind. And I sat there for a while. I was like, you know what? I'll join wrestling. That was my thought process, but I was horrified. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to contact. I saw the number. I always saw the number, but as me, I can't even call a pizza place correctly because I get nervous. I can't even order a pizza. That's how like scared I get of like talking on the phone, anything,
Yeah. Hey.
So after like, I want to say like 4 or 5 months of living out there, doing nothing, having no friends, and just like wasting away and play World of Warcraft for hours on end,
Oh God, let's not. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I've World of Warcraft tattoo. That could tell you how addicted I was.
Oh, we can talk about that in a bit, but continue. I'm sorry.
But after doing that for so long, I like looked at myself and like looked at me and I was like, you know what? This isn't what I want to do. I really want to wrestle. I just don't know if I can. And for some reason, something popped in my head. I'm in my head, and I tell everyone this, like, who asks me, like, how do I become a wrestler? The first thing I tell them is just do it. It's a leap of faith. You got to trust yourself. And for some reason, it's a leap of faith just, like, stuck with me. And I was like, you know what? That's true. Like, I said that in the mirror, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, no. And I stood up, and I said, fuck it. I called him, and I called Killer Tim Brooks, and from there I started training, got back in contact with my family, moved back to California, finished training with Manny Fernandez. So basically I just like took my anxiety and said, screw it. I want this in my life. My want for this wrestling career is stronger than my anxiety will ever make me, feel.
I feel that. That's like, that's very prophetic. And I don't know if that's the correct word, but I get that. Like, sometimes you got to tell the mind, like, shut up, stupid, and you got to do what you got to do. That's
exactly
that, and it takes like a lot of folks don't understand that it takes a lot to do that. It's just like, oh, let's go. It takes a lot because you get there and you're like, your brain doesn't turn off. It just
exactly.
It's like, oh, why is he? He's looking at me like that. Oh, was that a good drop kick? I don't know if that's a good drop kick. Did I do that right? Oh shit, I don't know. And like, it can overtake you and it can ruin your entire day. But if you have one friend or one person there and that's your people, then all of a sudden it kind of washes away and you get yourself in the zone. So I'm feeling like once you got over the first hurdle, you were comfortable enough to just kind of keep moving, which is interesting because as someone who has, social anxiety, how do you feel when like you go to a brand new spot to compete? What do you tell yourself to kind of do you still do the mantra of fucking get over it and keep moving, or what do you do?
Every time I get ready to wrestle, in my mind, I say, it's a leap of faith. You got this. And I believe in myself because in my head, this is the exact same problem I had yesterday. In my head, I was like, I can't do this. I can't. It's been a year. I'm going to be botching everywhere. I have ring rust. But in the back of my head, I was like, no. If the promoter trusts you enough to put on a good show after a year of not wrestling, then I've got to trust myself enough to actually put on a good show and entertain. If someone else trusts me, I need to trust myself. And that's the mindset I need to be in, Nah,
I get you. So that's basically anyone listening, when you have those voices in your head that tell you you can't do it or you're going to be terrible, you got to just take the leap of faith and trust yourself and do what you got to do. My man, look, it's not easy. My man's a pro wrestler. So if you need more examples or proof in the pudding, you're listening to it right now. So to peel it back a little bit, before that though, when did you say you became a wrestling fan?
The years are always muddy to me because I remember like certain matches.
Yeah.
But the one moment that really like sticks in my head, I don't know which year it is. All I know is the pay-per-view One Night Stand when it was RVD and John Cena and Edge comes out and spears the hell out of John Cena. That's the first moment I physically remember watching wrestling.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think it was 2005 or something like that, I want to say.
It's somewhere between 3 or 5, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure where it was, but I remember seeing that, and I know I got a DVD. I was given a DVD, and I watched that whole pay-per-view, and I was like enthralled, just mainly by Edge. And that's when I really became a wrestling fan because I looked more into it. I bought the game, played the game for a while. It was SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. Yeah,
that's a good game. That's a good game to get into.
That game is where I believe I designed who Toxic Trent is.
That is one of the good games to get into.
It's really good. So I got the game, and I think the first pay-per-view I ever actually saw was WrestleMania 23. And to this day, that is my favorite WrestleMania of all time.
You had a really good basically version of what to get you inspired, because there's a lot of horse shit in between all that, and you managed to get all the good ones. Those 20 WrestleManias, like 21, 2, 3, 4, 5 are like iconic, and One Night Stand is also iconic. That's like the best wrestling medicine to get you up and going. Because I used to be
jumped in at a perfect time.
Yeah, pretty much. I used to be an old ECW fan. I was like, oh man, I want to do this, and then as I got older, I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. I'm held together by duct tape and hope. But it bees like that. So with Toxic Trent, that's when 2006 SVR is where you kind of envision the car version of you. So what made you, I guess, in the Toxic Trent? Because I'm looking at the Toxic moniker. Obviously, it's more like, Mad Max, Roy type of stuff. But the term toxic nowadays has a different connotation to it. You're the opposite of that kind of toxic. So break me down the character that is Toxic Trent.
So I say this a few times. People pop for this all the time. Believe it or not, Toxic Trent was not supposed to be apocalyptic. It was supposed to be that toxic kid online, the Fortnite kid, if you will, talking crap. It was supposed to be me talking crap and tweeting to people tweeting to my opponents and like talking crap and then losing in the ring. I had a design already that said the keyboard warrior Toxic Trent.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I was so ready to make that shirt. But after a few months of me actually wrestling and, you know, on a monthly basis, I realized there's not a single indie promotion or indie wrestler that cares enough for Twitter for that.
Yeah, nah, it's like to go back and forth like that, nah.
Yeah, no one takes it that seriously. So I was like, I need to find something else. If you watch my first early matches, like my first 3, I come out in like a video game attire. I have a jean vest, a denim vest with a bunch of buttons.
Jesus Christ.
If you know Infamous Second Son, I based myself on that main character.
Jesus.
And I was gonna be that toxic punk kid. That was my original idea, and no one took it seriously. So I was like, I need a rebrand. Toxic Trent is a damn cool name. I might as well just take inspiration from my favorite game ever, Fallout, and just roll with it. And I made the design for my gear in a 2K game.
Oh Jesus! Once again, it feels the most like there's a lot of like, you know, features in it, so might as well use it to the best of its ability.
Yeah, exactly. I made the design and I sent it to my tight lady, and I was like, hey, this is basically the base. Go wild. Make it as apocalyptic, wastelander, Mad Max you could possibly think of. And she came up with the green, gold, and pink gear I have, and that I wrestle with, and that's pretty iconic to me right now.
That's pretty. It's pretty good. It's just as funny that the first iteration was you're gonna be the. You know, it's funny that character would probably work in the call-based Twitter, because them motherfuckers is always tweeting back and forth. But when the actual profession, it's funny you said that, because you would think that nowadays with social media that it would be more prominent. But then, you know, those lines, like, I feel if you would have stuck with that character, you probably would have it would have been worse as opposed to better with the climate, because all you need is one tweet that gets, you know, misconstrued, and then, you know, that's your ass. Like, something.
I was already getting some heat from like tweeting some people, and like they were like, "Oh, you're shooting on me, dude." And I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm keeping kayfabe, my guy. No, I'm sorry."
God. Like, hey, brother, you shooting on me? You using the gimmick? You gimmicking me, or you shooting on me? That's the conversation I had. The last thing, I might as well ask you too. Like, how do you feel? And I guess it's gonna sound derogatory, but how do you feel about normies using, you know, the vernacular of the professional wrestler? Thanks to Stone Cold Steve Austin, who kind of made that shit super common. Like, because of him, like, I feel because of him, a lot of people just start using terms like shoot, mark, work, pop. Like, some of them, okay, like, I'll say, oh, that popped me, but I'll never go to somebody like, you know, in your profession and just start talking the vernacular, like, hey, we're peers. Like, nah, we not peers, bro. You do this, and I'm just either writing or talking about it. So, how do you personally feel about folks using whatever? I don't know if it's called carny speak or I'll just say the vernacular of the professional wrestler.
I'm not a fan of it.
It's fair. Be honest. It's okay. Be honest.
I don't know. Like, the people who use those terms, either they do something wrestling related, like online, like they have a podcast, they do streaming, they play, you know, games or something along those lines, you know? Or they're a mark. And there's no in between. They're a mark online, and they are super markish, and they're the people who comment under each and every like Sasha Banks post, and they're like, "Oh, I'm a mark and a simp for this person." I'm like, dude, shut up. No, stop. Oh, they're burying Mojo Rawley. I can't believe they're this and that. He's in catering. And I'm like, dude, you don't even know what the hell's going on. He's getting a paycheck. He's living his best life.
That's the same thing I said last time. It's like, when you see, oh, so-and-so is... Now, I understand if someone wants their release or whatever, and I'm not talking out of any professionalism, but like, I understand that, hey, you want their release and they want to go spread your wings or try something. That's cool. But when you don't know somebody, or when you just make that bold statement, oh, so-and-so isn't being used, and it's I know that how they feel, they're not treating him right. I'm like, dog, he's probably getting 6 figures, maybe 7 figures. Due to Rona, he don't really got to travel that much, so he's spending more time with his family. Him or her spending more time with his family. A nice check, some nice benefits, probably a shitty merch deal, but whatever. Can't stream no more on Twitch or whatever in WWE, but if you're in AEW, it's fine. Do what you want. But, you know, I don't think it's really a bad, you know. So I just stop it. Just be happy that people are making, like, because of AEW now, I guess was it work? I'll say workers. Fuck it, don't be mad at me. Workers get the opportunity to, potentially make more money because I want to go here. Oh well, we give you extra 5 years and whatever % bump. All right, cool. That's great. Like you get to make more money, and it's good for the economy of the person involved. Like it's really good. They were talking about Tyler Breeze once upon a time. Tyler Breeze got like fucking 10 houses.
Yeah.
Like
be happy they have jobs.
Yes.
I'm so happy they have jobs. And I see people are like, oh, they should get released and they'll be better on the indies. I'm like, you're literally asking for someone to get fired. You're don't get me wrong, it'd be awesome to see Andrade on the indies. Yeah. But you're literally hoping he gets fired just so you can get selfish and watch him live. No. It's funny. You got to think about that,
Yeah, that's one of the actually questions I had down the road, but I might as well ask it now and forget that I asked it later on because I probably will because I have, head issues. Anyway, so that being actually no, we'll ask that one later. But no, that's a good answer regarding the whole Mark situation. It's strange, man, because this medium, when you interact with all kinds of professional wrestlers and everything, and I prefer the guys who kind of keep it, I guess, normal, if you will, because there's a lot of weird characters and stuff in this thing where they just, like you said, man. They talk and to speak, and the whole gimmick is to be super duper angry all the time. And it's like, are you really that angry, or is that your quote unquote gimmick or whatever to try to get over your podcast or whatever? I don't know, man. It's just at the end of the day, I like people to be able to support their families and to make money and basically just have a good life, whatever they do. So that being said, with your matches thus far, which would you consider your favorite and why? Tough one. I'm sorry.
You're good. I always go back to this one match. I always mention it because I'm a mark for myself.
You got to be though. You got to be in this profession. I'm assuming.
But there's a match on YouTube. It's me versus Shiloh Greaves, and Shiloh Greaves was trained by Rikishi when he was. I think he started when he was like 13.
Damn.
Yeah. And he is an amazing freaking talent. His gimmick is literally like a trash bag wrestler who doesn't care about how he looks. He just wrestles in like jeans or like sweats or something. And it works for him because he looks like a trash bag wrestler,
Wait, just wearing jeans is trash bag? Is that how that works? Like
pretty much.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's a vendetta against like people who wear jeans pretty much in the business.
Are you serious?
Yeah. The only people that pull it off, in my opinion, were like Luke Harper, because it matched his gimmick, But like when Dean Ambrose came out in jeans, I hated it.
What about Orange Cassidy? Because that's his whole.
I hate it.
You don't like it?
I hate it.
Really?
I don't know. I can't stand watching people in jeans. It feels like you're watching a normal dude just wrestle, and I don't want to watch that. I want to see like superheroes,
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
I want to see big names.
Yeah, I get you. Yo, that's you know what's funny about that, because I don't know, I do a league, I do a comp league, so basically player versus player stuff. And back in the day, that was the thing. Like, why are you coming out with jeans for? You thought you supposed to fight, like. And it's funny to see that actually carries over to the actual biz.
It doesn't feel like a fight at that point,
Yeah,
it feels like a random dude walked into the ring, which I've seen on an indie show. I'm not calling anyone out, but I've seen someone get out of their car, get in their sweats, put on a lucha mask, and wrestle, and then leave back in their car.
No, that's a whole different. That is a whole different like level of horse shit. No, like I can't put Orange Cassidy in that genre with that. That's that straight up fucking horse shit. Where you just oh my god. With my paycheck, all right, let's sit later, guys. It just drives off in like a fucking Honda whatever Civic and pieces out. So it's just Shiloh Greaves is your guy then. That's your favorite match.
Shiloh Greaves. Me and Shiloh Greaves, we put on an amazing, when I debuted at a place called Blacklist Pro Wrestling, shout out to them. They're freaking amazing.
Cool.
Blacklist Pro Wrestling. He was my debut. I won. It was both our debuts, actually. So I beat his debut.
Okay.
And then the next show, he attacks me, all pissed off, yada yada, throws me into a brick wall, which I took full face on. For shoot.
Don't do that, son.
So I get on the mic, I talk crap, I call him out, try to challenge him to a street fight. If you look up our street fight, it is legitimately the craziest match I've ever been in. I get hit in the head with a pinata. I land on Legos.
Lego City
I
Deathmatch.
DDT his foot on Legos.
Oh god damn it.
And I get busted open in the first minute.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I knew I needed stitches after the match, but I convinced my wife to just go to Taco Bell instead.
Did you at least get the ones from CVS, the fake butterfly ones, the plastic joints?
We just put a giant Band-Aid on it.
Oh Jesus Christ! Come on, Trent. You got a little bit of self care, man. Just get the butterfly. Just get the butterflies. They're cheap. They don't hurt either. Just Then again, them shits is kind of expensive because CVS they try to fuck on you. Whatever.
I'm a wrestler. Use super glue, man. Use super glue.
Hey, get the super glue, kid. Don't know the one thing like I do like doing wrestler voice because that shit just makes me laugh. When you do old school wrestler voice, hey kid, if it doesn't come in a yellow envelope, I don't want it. That shit. But that's just between friends. I don't do that shit in public.
I get you.
I think sometimes if I want to fuck with somebody, I'll do that. Like if I'm at my job, I'll sometimes put on that voice to answer questions. But whatever. Back to that. So we found out your favorite. So would this one also be the most nerve-wracking for you since it's your debut?
Yes and no, because I kind of like it was a long time coming for this debut. Like I kind of jumped ship from like at that point it was the rival company. I jumped ship from WWE to WCW at that point,
Yeah.
So there was a lot of hype for me to come in there. So I wasn't too nervous, but at the same time I was because I've said this on stream before. That match was supposed to be my last match ever. It was supposed to be my final match. I was gonna quit after that. I was in a depressive state. I felt like I couldn't wrestle anymore, and I felt like I was just trash. And I walked into that match saying I'm gonna go all out, and this will be my last match. And I had the best match, stole the show, and it blew me away how good the match was. And I was like, nah, I gotta keep going. I can't stop here.
See that's like the thing on the shoulder, the anxiety shoulder. You think whatever you do, like the best, it's kind of like a double-edged sword because you'll never give yourself as much credit as you should give yourself credit for, but you also it'll never be enough basically. So you kind of always have to try to do better than the next time. So the trick is to always try to beat the voice in the end, and it looked like you managed to beat it. So good. I'm glad you beat it because the whole thing about the COVID. This is, I'm jumping around in time, but COVID hit, and I remember I did research, so I saw you a couple things, and you were just like, oh my fucking God. So to go from, this is my last, to go from, I need this to come back, and then to go to, hey, we're back, and then to go to, hey, I'm sore as shit, but I'm back. Like, it's kind of cool. So I wanted to ask you, though, a question, because you said that at one point in time that was going to be your last match. You mentioned your knee is pretty fucked up, or basically. So how the hell did that happen? Because you're a young guy, so when you say it hurts to walk downstairs, I felt that on an emotional level because I also have knees made of bullshit. So I want to get your take on that.
So I like to gimmick everything. I like to tell everyone I don't know why my knee's fucked up. I know exactly why my knee's fucked up. And it has nothing to do with wrestling. When I was like, I want to say 12 or 13, I was a stupid freaking kid.
Okay, we all are, yeah.
I want to be a goddamn ninja. I wanted to be a parkour ninja.
Oh, fuck, dude.
My idol at that point was John Morrison.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I was like, he could do parkour, I could do parkour. So I researched it, I was YouTubing everything, and I saw someone hit the wall and do a backflip. And I was like, you know what, that'd be fucking cool if I could hit the turnbuckle and do a backflip. So what I did, this is the first time ever telling a story, by the way.
Sure. Jesus.
So what I did was I hit the brick wall, and I did a backflip and I landed it. And I was like, holy crap, I did it. That was the first try. I was like, hell yeah. I was like, hey, whatever your name is. I don't know what my friend's name was. I was like, hey, come here, film this real quick. And he walks over here, gets the camera out, and somewhere out there's footage. I don't know where. I hope he uploaded it somewhere. But there's footage of me hitting the wall, doing a backflip, and landing on my knee somehow. It bent sideways. Shit. And from then on, my knee cracks and crumbles, and like if going up and down stairs ruins me. And it sounds like bubble wrap being twisted.
Yeah, no, I know that feel. I'm not gonna, the way my mic is set up, I can't really do it physically anyway because I have a dynamic, so I would have to like knee my microphone. But yeah, whenever I move, it makes noise. But mine is from early onset osteoarthritis, not fucking doing a backflip off of a wall and landing poorly. Jesus Christ, kid. You gotta take care of yourself, kid. Come on, man. I know you got one life to live, Hoop, but Jesus Christ, son. Now you gotta get the Bengay. You know what you can do for that? They got the shots. See if your insurance covers it. That's what I do. Get the shot. I don't know what they're called, but they do wonders. And I'm sure if you depending on how you go, because maybe you get maybe the Twitch thing blows up, and you get the partnership, then you can get them damn stem cell joints. Right? Really, I don't got those, but those really work. But in the meantime, the other ones, you should look into those. I forgot what they're called. I think it might be Orthovisic. Would do wonders for you. You gotta get them every 6 months though, and they're not cheap. I mean, when I used to do it, when I had health insurance, it was like $75 a knee. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Now it's like $160 a knee, and I'm like, I can't afford that, so I'll just crunkle away anyway. But yeah, you a Twitch dude, so you could probably make your money on Twitch doing that. But yeah, look into it. That might help the longevity of your knee, and give you one less thing to worry about. Because you sound like you sometimes you get in your own head, so. This might be something to give you one less worry when it comes to that. Like, oh, I'm so great. This fucking knee. Oh, man, I'm not good enough. This stupid knee. Hey, fucking inject it. All right, I feel better now. Let's go.
I mean, I can't care that much about my knee. I do a knee curb stomp, so.
Yeah. I was gonna add, but it's not the bad knee that you do it on, is it?
It is.
Yo, son, come on, babe. Come on. We had the discussion about like the wrestlers and longevity and shit. You can't be. You might gotta switch. Might have to switch that, son, because that's gonna. Yeah, I know. It's gonna be bad.
Luckily, spoiler alert: whenever I'm about to miss it, I do my good knee, so I know.
Good. There you go.
So
that's how Hogan messed up his old back. The one thing, the leg drop. So
yeah.
All right. So speaking of the knee, this is one of the questions that always usually ask the professionals. So might as well. What's one of your favorite maneuvers that you don't get to do often? Is it gonna be that knee? I hope it's that curb stomp. No, it's not.
I do love that knee curb stomp, but I usually try and hit that every match if I can.
Yeah.
One of the moves actually retired because I got a new finish.
Okay.
It was the wheelbarrow facebuster. So basically, I pick them up on my shoulder. They're facing the mat, and then I slam them down face first on the mat, and I bump with them. So we both take the bump. And it looks nasty as hell. I think I stole it from Luke Harper, and I think I've seen AJ Styles do it, but they just throw them down. I bump with it.
You roll with it to give it that extra grimy sauce on it.
Exactly. I make it look nasty, and I did that for a while until I decided to use the spear as a finish, which now I'm changing that to a reverse DDT. So a spin out reverse DDT.
All right, I feel like that might be more like so with the spear because I can't really get a good measure of how big you are. So, I don't know. It feels like a spear, you have to be super duper yoked. I mean, you yoked, but you're not that yoked. But,
no.
So, to be doing it, it is an edge, right? That's what it was? You're like Edge.
Yeah, it was Edge. It was Edge.
Because he's a scheme motherfucker. Well, now he's ripped as fuck, but old man Edge. But before, it was always like, why is he doing a spear? He's, but he does a good spear. So I
usually do the spear for lower end opponents, who are smaller than me.
Yeah.
Anyone bigger, I do a diving spear.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because if it's smaller,
so I get that momentum.
Yeah. Because you fucking try to do a dude that's built like I don't know Brock Lesnar, it's not gonna look good.
No.
But if you hit a tiny fella, or if you hit the lucha guy with the mask and the sweatpants, it probably looking packed. Maybe his match
there
comes
you go.
Off. Maybe
he'll do a spin out.
Maybe he's fucking lose a shoe because I'm sure he's wearing tennis shoes too. Because if you can't carry,
he was wearing Skechers. Bro, legit, I was so pissed off. Christ. He was the match after me. I was like, dude, no, this can't be real, dude.
My man had the Skechers. I hope he had the one that gives you a better thing for your thing, a better thing for your thing, a better arch for your foot. The real fucking. Oh my god, dude, that's amazing. I want to make that in the 2K game now. Fucking El Maricón and just wear sweatpants and fucking Skechers. Jesus Christ.
My favorite gimmick on the indies. Because you see it everywhere. You see it on every single state has at least one or two.
Oh, here we go.
I call them the indie takers.
Yeah.
Where they're inspired by the Undertaker. There's an 80% chance they have an Undertaker tombstone tattoo on their side.
Oh my god.
And they come out. They're slightly overweight, but they basically look like an overweight Undertaker. Usually they have one or two tattoos.
Yeah.
They have a rip-off cowboy hat.
Jesus Christ.
And they claim that Taker is not their favorite wrestler, and they took no inspiration. It was just a coincidence. That's my favorite on the indies.
But the thing is, you can't even say that. Well, I mean, now you might because Taker really isn't as relevant, but leading up to it, like you can't say, it's just ironic. No, it's not, motherfucker. You're not slick. Stop it. Cut it out.
It's always Taker and Jeff Hardy. Those are always the two.
Oh yes, I remember those two. Like, I remember watching a lot of backyard shit on YouTube. And they're like, oh wow, okay, well. I mean, no disrespect to backyard people, but I'm just saying, like, it's
usually that, and there's like a 90% chance they're gonna use "Trapped" by Headstrong.
That's so specific. Jesus Christ.
you know it though. You can hear it.
I'll take you out anymore. Oh, let me stop. But I think you almost answered my question, but might as well ask it. I don't know if this question necessarily relates to you right now because you've kind of still on the journey, but I'll ask it because I have to ask it. As a pro wrestler, do you think your journey has so far lived up to its expectations, or it's surpassed, or maybe even gone below?
So far, it's majorly surpassed because I originally thought I'm going to be a jobber. I'll job out everywhere. I'll be the Ziggler of the indies, you know?
Sure.
My thought process was if I can't be a good wrestler, I'll instead be a damn good seller, and I'll have it to where people beg to work me because they know I'll take their finish and make it look nasty as hell. And if you watch the first few matches I've ever had, that's exactly the mindset, and you could see that. That's why, as time goes on, I start winning matches, and I start, like, getting better in the ring because I took it more seriously. It wasn't just selling. It was actually, you know what, maybe I could turn this into an actual thing because I'm actually decent at this.
That's a great answer. And the concept of selling is something I think not necessarily the indies, but I guess the indies, if that makes any sense, that kind of like the place where you have the indie takers. I think that's an art that's probably gone by the wayside because everybody just wants to what's the word? What's the terminology? I just won't get my shit. There you go. Thank you. You beat me to it. Yeah, get your shit in. So I always prefer, like, this is the reason why I love Brock Lesnar, because everyone talks shit about Brock Lesnar. Oh, he just there for the money. Shit, I would be too if I could do that. But you know what? Brock Lesnar, he fucking sells offense he's a vanilla gorilla, and if I'm assuming he likes you or just whatever, he will make you look amazing. Like, if you're fighting Brock Lesnar, if you Toxic Trent are fighting Brock Lesnar, right, and you fucking go for it, and he likes you, I guess, I don't know him personally, and you go for your reverse DDT, he'll sell that motherfucker like death. Maybe the second time he'll catch you and fucking F5 you into the third row, but the thing is, and I feel like a lot of people, someone like him doesn't have to, but he does. So when you go to the indies and there's people who don't have the mindset of, hey, I want to make everybody look good, like, I feel like it's a detriment. Like, there's so many big dudes on the indies, like, just I don't want to say big nobodies, but you know, indies for a hot dog and a handshake, if you will, the terminology, like they're there and they're like, I ain't selling shit. You ain't making no fucking money then. You gotta like you said, Ziggler. People will talk shit about Ziggler, but my guy gets to do what he wants. He gets a good paycheck, and he's fucking good at his job. What more do you need?
I've never loved seeing someone take finishers more than him.
Right?
Like, it's so fun. And that's what inspired me to, like, sell the way I do and bump the way I do, you know?
Yeah.
Because every single bump means something. As much as I love the guy, one of the worst sellers on the WWE roster right now is Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, all right.
He'll take any bump and sell it the same way. He'll take a DDT and he'll sell it the same way as if he missed a Swanton bomb.
Yo, it's funny you say that because I don't watch as E too much anymore for personal reasons, but nothing bad. But like, yeah, you're actually that's absolutely correct. Because I know I see it in my head. Like, I know though he's like,
yeah, you can see the face because it's the face he does every bump. Compare that to anyone else where they're selling body parts. Like, they land on their neck and they're like, oh, my neck, oh, my head, my back, my shoulder, you know?
Yeah. Yo.
But no, Hardy's like, nope, it hurts. Everything hurts and I'm dying.
I mean, in his case, everything might hurt because he has a very long career. Yeah. So it might literally be that everything does hurt. So he's like, fuck it.
So maybe it does work for him.
It applies perfectly. It's like, this shit, my spleen, my toes to my forehead hurt. Like, there was a video on Ziggler, like I think it was like a 10-minute video on Ziggler selling people's finishers, and 75% of it literally looks like he might be hurt, but he's not. That takes super skill, like, and it ends
it
with, I don't
does.
know if you ever seen it, but there's one where it's an old clip, but he basically takes a monkey flip from Kofi, and he goes, I don't know how he gets that high in the air. He just gets monkey flip from one corner almost to the next corner. He's like fucking super high in the air, just lands face first. He looks like oh, that boy might be hurt. Nope, just another day for fucking Ziggle McPiggles. So shout out to him.
I love Ziggler. Ziggler is majorly underrated, and he's one of my like top 5, I'd say.
He's really good. I don't know if he'll ever have the Shawn Michaels moment, but at this point, it's a career. Not everybody needs to be Shawn Michaels. He will go down in history as one. I'm sure he'll be in the Hall of Fame. Sure. When you're my age, he'll probably be in the Hall of Fame because I'm an old motherfucker. But anyway, moving right along. So this next one is, we kind of touched on it, but we'll touch on it one more time. Basically, as an independent wrestler, you have to deal with a variety of promoters and promotions, and we can best describe these as less than desirable. So I always preface this question. Well, I shouldn't say always because I just started interviewing professional wrestlers, but I always preface this question. You don't got to get super dirty. I'm not looking for dirt. I just want interesting stories. So don't worry about that. You don't got to say names. You could always be a non. But okay. Do you have any, I guess we'll go with both, but do you have any good promotion war stories? And then we'll follow up with the bad ones, but let's start with the good ones first.
Good wise, I've been to a lot of good promotions. Like, it's rare when I find a bad one, but the best environment and the best backstage area and the best talent, in my opinion, that I've seen, that I've worked at, is Blacklist Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
They've gotten Journey Vatu. They have people named Snipes, Manny Mars, Shiloh, me, of course. They have a bunch of good, like, not really known names that should be known and probably will be known in the next few years. It's an upstart company. I think they're on their 5th or 6th show.
Okay. But
it feels like a family back there, and everywhere else it feels like a business.
Like, expound on that. Like, you mean like a basically, oh hey, and like a business transaction, or?
Well, everywhere we go, it's like, oh, how's it going? Shake hands, move on your way.
Yeah.
Over here, it's shake your hands. Hey, how you been, man? Gives you a big hug. How you been? You chat a little bit. You talk. Ask what your match is. Ask, do you have any new moves? What's going on in your life? And that's with everyone.
Nice.
There's not a single person backstage who you can't have a conversation with, and it's insane to me.
So you prefer that than the, honestly, I think as someone who has the anxiety, that would be a more welcoming environment as opposed to
there's stress, don't get me wrong, because of it's a show, but it's not as stressed as most other shows where everyone's panicked. They're like running around. They're trying to get their matches done, trying to get all prepared. The promoter's running around with his head cut off, trying to get money to scrounge up. No, everything's professional, everything's prepared, everything's ready before. If we wanted to, we could start 2 hours early because everything's already done,
Yeah.
As opposed to other places where, oh, we got to push back the gate for like 30 more minutes. We're not ready.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So
yeah.
So with I guess with the war stories, give us, if you do, you don't have to have them. I don't know if you have them or not, any like not so great promoter stories.
There's a few. I've told them on stream. I won't name anything.
Don't name anything.
But there's been a few. One, the infamous story I have, which is the reason I left this company. There's a whole backstory to this of me being buried, even though I was the most popular star on that roster.
Mm-hmm.
But I was basically being thrown on the dark match, thrown in the pre-show, all that jazz. It was to the point where I'd show up to the arena and I was like, hey, what's my match? Oh, check the board. And my name is crossed out underneath the what's named the Clusterfuck Battle Royal.
So there was a Clusterfuck Battle Royal and you're not even on that shit no more?
Yeah, I wasn't even on that. And I walked up, I was like, hey, am I not on the show? He's like, oh, sorry, I messed up. And then he erased the cross off. I was like, what, am I on the show or not? Like, what's the point here, So
no.
The biggest issue I had with them was I was in a year-long feud with the same people. It was me and my gimmick friend versus these two other guys. And we were in a year-long feud, and I was begging to do something different because it was the same match over and over again. I was getting nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, let's end this, and then I'll turn on my friend. I want to do something different. I want to turn heel. I want to get on the mic. I've never been on the mic before at this point.
Okay.
I want to get on the mic. I want to cut promos. I want to like evolve as a character and learn my craft more. You know, I was begging to do something different. And they're like, you know what? Fine. We will turn you heel at the next show when he wins the championship. Your friend's going to win the championship. We'll turn you heel. I was like, thank you. God, thank you so much. So the show comes up and basically he wins the title, holds the title up above his head. I come out, give him a hug. I shed a real life tear because I'm genuinely happy for the guy. Raise his hand, get in the corner. He turns around and I spear the hell out of him. The crowd dies. They're like, holy crap. The most popular character, our John Cena, is just turned heel. I was the hometown hero. They didn't know how to react. So obviously they're on like local television. I was watching the show and I was tweeting. I was like, hey, watch tonight. You don't want to miss it. You know, there's a lot of hype riding on this.
Yes.
Here's what they showed on the video. I come out, I hug him, raise his hand. I get in the corner. You can visibly see me setting up a spear and it fades to black.
Are you serious?
They cut me out and I'm never seen on the show again. And I'm thrown on the pre-show. For the next 3 months. Yes.
Whoa. So all right, so just they're on local TV. That's the first thing. Cool.
Yes.
So you said I want to do this. They said okay. That you did what you're supposed to do, and then they just was there any explanation given or anything like that? Or
they were like, oh, we lost the footage. I was like, really? You lost the footage? You got the footage of the whole show, but surprisingly, that's the one 30-second bit that got corrupted. Really?
You lost? Oh my dog.
Yeah. No.
Dog.
So it went to the point where like I was like, okay, fine. Since I'm not on the show, give me a mic. I'll open the show with a promo. I don't give a crap. So after, I think it was like 2 shows after this, I was so pissed off. This is amazing, actually. I'm really proud of this. I'm not going to lie to you. I get in the middle of the ring. I sit like CM Punk because I was like, you know what? I'm dropping pipe bombs.
Go ahead.
And I shot hard.
Shot everybody.
I shot everyone. I shot on I hate to say it. I shot on my trainer. I shot on the boys in the back. I shot on a bunch of people and I literally said, I'm sick of being on the pre-show because even on the pre-show, I put on the best matches than on the main show. That's exactly what I said. And I unzipped my vest to reveal my new merch shirt that says Toxic Trent, the whole effing pre-show. On camera, in front of everyone. I wrestle my match. I think I oversell everything like HBK did to Hulk Hogan that one time.
Jesus Christ, dog.
I went all out. I was furious.
In your bag, son.
I didn't even get my merch out. I literally got to the back, got sweats on over my gear, and left after that. That was my last time ever being seen.
Jesus Christ, son.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a bad experience. That'll wrap it for a bad experience. Fuck.
Yeah. No, it was bad. I've told that story a few times, but
why the trainers though? Why'd you hitting on the trainers? Isn't it like the trainer
because
he catching the
strain? He was kind of part of it. He was defending it.
Was it like how long were you there? Because maybe it could be the whole thing of like, oh, you have to earn your stripe. Because you know what? A lot of motherfuckers think it's like, you know, WWF in the 80s where you got to earn your stripes, kid. You got to be. I
was there for 3 years.
No, that you've been to give you an unrelatable context. For my league, people who've been here for 3 years have moved up to like they've moved all over rank wise. Like, you know, if you're putting in time and effort, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, it might be just, you know, oh, maybe it's a couple of months. If you there for 3 years and that's foul.
Mm-hmm. I was established as a star there, you know?
Yeah, so you basically like you made your bed there. You got what you had to do. You got over, as the kids say. And then, damn, son, that's bugging. And there was no
one show. I would sell like 150 tickets for one show.
And it was like the reasoning was what is the specific reasoning?
The rumor is, from what I was told, is I got cocky and got merch too soon, and I don't have the body, and I'm not a good wrestler. And that's what really led me to have the mindset of I can't really do this, you know. I don't have the body, and that led into me about to quit and then wrestling Shiloh. So that was actually right before the Blacklist match with Shiloh.
Okay, so that being said, I want to retract my statement about saying you're not that big, because I know that sometimes you look back and you're like, oh, what do you mean by that? So there's no disrespect on my part. Then not trying to put
you're good,
nothing on you. But shit, man. Nah, that'll do it, especially when you in your head like that. And then it's like, oh, maybe they're right. Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn, son.
And that was 3 years of like putting up with stuff. That's just like the main thing that made me snap, you know?
No, it makes sense. I get you. That makes perfect sense. But I could just, it's like, wrestling is one of the weirdest things because it deals in both logic and then also the absurd.
Yes.
For example,
majorly.
You have someone who is popular, who can actually move merchandise or ticket sales, which is what you want as a promoter. That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming as a promoter, I want to get as many tickets through the door as possible so they can buy shit in the venue and and this, that, and the third. So to have someone or anyone to have a group of people and they're doing that, and to be like, well, nah, man, it happened too fast. He's feeling too good about himself. So what? Is it causing a problem in matches? Yes or no? Is it causing a problem in communication? Yes or no? You talk to people. This is the thing. Just because you don't like someone doesn't mean you don't do business. Like, there's people I don't like on a fundamental human level, but they do their job, so I have no problem. As when you don't do your job, that's when it's a problem. So it's like, why are you being ostracized or basically tread upon when you are doing what you're supposed to do? Oh, he's too happy. Kid, look at him showing up. So what you so happy about with your damn t-shirt? You ain't got a six-pack. Like, shut the fuck up. Let me work, man. Damn.
You make the joke, but that was actually a real thing that was said once.
God damn, son.
Why are you smiling the whole time? You shouldn't be that smiling. No, you did something wrong.
Oh my God. This is why a lot of times I go, I hate wrestling. I should be on a podcast. I hate wrestling. Like, fuck,
bro, I say that all the time. Like, I'll watch wrestling and be like, God, I hate that I love wrestling.
Oh my God. I don't want no more war story. That's a good enough war story. Jesus Christ, B. That's just upsetting. Like, I want you to make me money. Make me money, Trent. Make me money. I don't give a Oh, you happy? Good. I'm glad you're happy, Trent. Say something stupid to me, then we gonna have a problem. But if you doing your job and you ask it, like, I don't have a problem with you. Make your money, Trent. Fuck. How much am I getting from that t-shirt? Am I getting like $1? Something? I ain't getting money from that. You get money from that shirt. I'm gonna get money from that shirt. All right. Look, give me $2 from that shirt. Actually, no, shirts are the way shirts would make, they're expensive. But like, let me get $1 from that shirt. We good. But fuck, man. I don't know. Wrestling's stupid. Anyway.
Wrestling is.
Wrestling dumb as fuck a lot of times. It's weird. It's like a weird relationship. So with the climate of wrestling right now, do you feel the need? I think I answered the question, but you answered the question, but I'm gonna ask you anyway because it's on my little list. Do you feel the need to get signed at this point?
I don't think so. I'm really enjoying the indies right now. Don't get me wrong, I'd highly consider it if like NXT hit me up or like AEW. But I'm pretty content right now. If anything, I'd want to like sharpen up my skills to get my body going a little bit more,
Yeah.
And just like perfect myself as a character before I even attempt to like message anyone like that status, or apply for anything at that status or try out,
Yeah, I hear you. It's fair.
Don't get me wrong, I love it, but I don't think I'm mentally or physically ready for that yet,
I mean, given some of the stories that I've heard from sources that I cannot elaborate on, like, I just leave it like that. So you said it, so the ideal place for you would be essentially like an NXT or you say AEW, right? My brain is fried.
AEW would be cool. NXT would be really fun. I don't know why, but like I've always had like an urge to like work for Impact. So I feel like I'd love Impact. I feel like I'd be a good match for Impact.
Impact, you know what? Impact doesn't get enough credit for being very entertaining.
I haven't seen it in a while, but like the last I've seen it, I was very entertained, and like I don't know, and my boy Chris Bay is on there. I love Chris Bay.
Chris Bay is a wonderful person. I don't know him, but he seems like a wonderful, great guy. Never met him, but
great dude, great guy.
Never met him, but
I can confirm.
Yeah, I don't know. It does seem. I don't know. It's something about it. I think it should be a little bit better than it should. Like, it should be higher than it is, because it's they course corrected the TNA debacle back when TNA was good, and then TNA got filed, and TNA got filed again, and then now it's really watchable. It's really entertaining, and the guys and gals over there are really fucking impressive. So yeah, I think I could see that visually. So that's something to consider. Who knows? What else do we have right now? Some wrestling video game shit. So we met on the Wrestling Code, and I've seen you on the Wrestling Code Discord. So like you have a bunch of different ideas that I've seen you kind of pitching left and right. If you can remember any of those, would you care to elaborate on any of these ideas?
I don't remember most of them. The main idea is adding me to the game.
Yes, that's the purpose of this too. Like if they're listening, like, hey, Adam. I mean, I got no stroke. I am not no big YouTuber down like that. But it's like, hey, man. That's how I say with Tony. Like, yo, I can add Tony, please. Like, because it's
no,
it's
I
would
love. Yeah, I would love to be added to the game, man. Like, I don't know. It's just like a dream come true, because I made my gear. Or I specifically told my tight lady to make my gear to where it's extremely hard to make me in a 2K game. So if there's ever an independent wrestling game that happens, they'll be forced to add me, or like people will beg to add me because they're sick and tired of trying to make me as a gear.
That is like 7D chess, son. That is 7D chess. But I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, it works though.
I guess. Like, who knows, man? More than likely, because they're signing a lot of indie people, so hopefully you get put on the docket as well. Because
I have like 100 upvotes, like in the
you got more than 100. Because I remember when I did it, and I was like maybe a month ago, it was like at 80 something. I was like, oh shit. And
there's a lot of love for me right now. So I'm hoping I would love it. It'd be a dream come true.
I'm sure they'll hook you up. Hopefully they do. I don't see any reason why not, because they're adding everybody and their moms that's not signed. So so I think I do remember one idea you had. I hope it's you. My brain might be scrambled, but something about the arena and able to watch the arena, or like a Twitch based arena that you could actually the people. How do I know your idea more than you? Anyway,
I'm a wrestler. I have a bad memory. Okay,
it's
too many spike DDTs.
Too many DDTs. Who? Hey man, it took a couple
I do remember
gimmicks.
That though.
It was a Twitch.
I had the idea of like integrating Twitch into the crowd, where like if there's 5 people in Twitch, there's like 5 people in the crowd, or like 15 people in the crowd or something like that. And as people leave, they disappear, they join in, and like I don't know, maybe like cheering for like every biddy you get, all the bits you get donated. Yeah. Like the crowd cheers a little bit more or something like that. Or you could do polls and be like boo, cheer, that'd be really cool. Something interactive for streamers,
That would be,
because I run an interactive wrestling league.
Yes, and I was going to ask about that. Yeah.
If you had more interactivity in an interaction league, it'd be so awesome.
That does sound like a good idea, because then imagine when you get rated and you see like 75 seats fill up.
And they just appear. People just show up.
Like, what the shit? Like, and then he's like, I gotta get my shit in real quick. I gotta get my shit in real quick. I gotta get it in real quick. let me hit him with all the flashy moves real quick. I got him. Because then you see like in tandem, everybody just popping at the same time. Like you see like little hands get thrown up as stars or some shit like that. That would be kind of cool.
That'd be sick.
How to implement? Who knows? But that's an idea to take to the bank. So you
I'm
mentioned,
sure it's borderline impossible, but it'd be cool to add.
Son, there's gaming world is anything is possible, son. Anything is possible. So
that's
you
true.
said you run a universe mode on Twitch, interactive universe mode on Twitch. So before we get into the specifics of that, you use 2K20, is that correct?
Correct.
How are you finding that shit show of a shit game for universe mode? Like the fact that you're making it work, I salute you wholeheartedly, but I gotta get your take on that. How are you making that work, son?
It is the worst decision I've ever made in my life. I went into it. I saw it was $5 on Steam. I was like, you know what? This is great. I'm not spending $60 on any game right now.
This is
$5 is fine. So I started the league and realized that I can't play or use any women in the game because it crashes the game. I cannot edit any matches because it crashes the game and then restarts all the matches. I can't turn off countouts because once a match starts, it restarts the entire thing and countouts turn back on.
Oh my god.
Everything you think could go wrong goes wrong. And I bought it with the intention of, you know what? It'll crash. There'll be tons of glitches. It'll be hilarious. It'll be entertaining. when in reality it's just frustrating
Yep.
and horrible.
Oh,
Oh, it's so bad, but I'm so deep into this universe mode. I have to
Yeah.
wait till the next game comes out.
okay, so which what platform you using? Xbox, PC, PS5, or 4 rather? Which platform?
I'm using PC currently, so I can actually like record it and all that jazz and upload it to YouTube.
Yeah, that's why
I have it on
crispy.
Xbox too.
Yeah,
but I just don't want to break that out.
No, don't. It's not even worth it because I have a friend who does a universe, but he uses 19 on PC. So I wanted to use 19 on PC because I have like I said, a comp league. So I have guys on PS4 and Xbox. They fight each other, and most people have both copies of 19. And we've made 19 work for 3 years because 19, for all its faults, is still the gold standard. So you can't get 19 on PC and other than $80, which is bizarre because you can get 18 for some reason, shows up every now and again, but 20 is always $5, $10. You can't get 19 for nothing, and it pisses me off because I want it before the cutoff because you can do a shitload of modding with it. I think that's why they do it, because they know, oh, these people can make our game way better. No, fuck that shit.
I'm sure that's why, and that's what pisses me off, man.
Can't get it because 19. If you had 19 on PC, you would probably be a way happier camper because you could do some sick shit. You could do some sick shit with the mod scene. So you answered the question about 20 being garbage. So let us know, give us a little info about the interactivity of your universe mode.
So basically, it's like 1,000 points to redeem a character, which I have a bunch of random characters. It's insanity. If you ever watch an episode, just know you'll see Dumbledore, you'll see Shrek, Pepsi Man, Dr. Pepper, Colonel Sanders. He has a bunch of sailor tattoos. We have a character known as the DILF, also known as the Determined, Involved, Loving Father.
Nice.
We have a bunch of random people that I just think of off the top of my head. It's a way to get my creativity out of there,
Sure.
And basically redeem a character, root for that character. You could write like your own backstories. You could be in character and talk crap to people, all that jazz.
Gotcha.
And then like you can use points to randomize someone else's attire. So you could randomize my attire and make me look like a freaking clown. Stuff like that. Get title shots. It's stupid fun. I simulate everything. I play nothing.
Yeah,
it's literally me sitting down doing terrible commentary on watching Dr. Pepper fight a giant Joe Exotic Garfield.
I think I saw a Dilf versus the dude with the magenta pants. I think that was him. I think it was. I don't know if it was Dilf, but he was fighting. Who's the guy with the magenta pants? Like the pants are like they're like the Predator vision. Who's that guy?
I forget who it is. I have so many people.
Yeah,
a lot of them are like chat names too.
Oh Jesus Christ! But so it's working out for you then, even though you're using horrible 2K20.
It's working great. The chat loves it. I draw a bunch of people. People who don't watch wrestling love it because it's just a clusterfuck of randomness. And we play it every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So if you ever have a chance, check it out. It's freaking fun.
9 a.m. Pacific time. What numbers are you getting at 9 a.m. Pacific time?
What's up?
What numbers are you getting at 9 a.m. Pacific time? Because if you're doing good numbers at that time, then you know you made it, son. That's
Not
a crazy time.
I think the highest I've gotten is like 30.
Okay, that's good. That's fucking good for 9 a.m. Pacific time.
I've had better at night, definitely, but that's the only time I could really do it. I'm usually busy, so.
Yeah, man, you got mad shit you gotta do, son. You a busy beaver, so.
Heck yeah.
That's what you need to. That's what you need to. You gotta keep busy. That's what also keeps those stupid ass voices at bay. When you do other shit, you ain't got time to listen to a dumbass voice and you got shit to do. It's when you sit down and you start like, oh no, so do mad shit. That's the key. So that being said, do you have any particular favorite wrestling games? Because we know it's not 2K20.
I always go back to SmackDown versus Raw 2006. It's just iconic to me, man. It's 06 or 07 that like I always go back and forth to. Just GM mode in general.
Yeah, GM mode is fun.
I thought I had a future as a booker, man.
Oh Jesus, that's what
I booked one show in my life, and I like literally booked it in like GM mode.
You feel good. You feel good about that. Did you ever think, or have you put that on your YouTube or your Twitch and you do GM mode? That might be something people might like.
I haven't got onto doing that yet. I'm just doing 2K right now, but eventually I want to jump over to like other wrestling games.
Yeah, I think you've built the following, so I think they'll appreciate other mediums and other wrestling games. And your commentary ain't bad. You have commentary voice when you're calling the fucking wacky shit that's happening. I was watching for like maybe 10, 15 minutes on one of the videos. I was like, oh shit, all right, cool. I dig this. Good for him. Good for Toxic Trent. So we're winding down. So I have a couple questions left. And basically, this one I don't know if you're gonna be able to. The first one is actually we mentioned the cost of, but you should probably get one of these call dudes to make a Toxic Trent call, because once they do, you can, plug it or whatever, and that also helps you get people. I don't know. It's just what I tell everybody who's a professional wrestler. Have somebody make you a call, son, because that shit gets over. Motherfuckers like playing a call, and then it's like, oh. So get a call before you get Wrestling Code signed up. But yeah, if you know anybody, I'll put a good word with some of the people who do this kind of shit.
That'd be awesome. I'd love that.
No problem. No promises though, because you never know with these fucking people.
I was gonna say my gear's pretty elaborate, so
yeah, it's probably gonna be. I'm like, what the fuck am I? Oh my god.
What do I do?
You'd be surprised though if you give some good reference photos. You'd be surprised what some of these people can do. Because I've spoken to folks. Shout out to Dre41. He gets reference photos, and he was telling me the stories he has in order to get these reference photos. When you got to go to like the seamstress or the fucking whoever and ask them this weird question, hey, do you have a whatever? It's like, excuse me, yeah, to get a reference photo and then to build it from there. So some of these people put in a lot of work.
That's crazy.
But back to my question, and this one, hopefully you can answer it, but it might be a little difficult, so I'll understand if you don't. But what are your long-term goals? So let's start with professional wrestling. Your long-term goals. We got 1 year plan, 5 year, and 10 year. You could pick one, or you could pick all of them. Up to you.
Ooh.
I know. I'm sorry, man. Hit motherfuckers with life questions. I don't fucking know what I'm doing 10 years. Go ahead.
10 years, I have no idea. I want to be like a name brand, like where people know me,
Gotcha.
5 years, I think I just want to be like perfecting my craft. I think overall, it's more of just perfecting my craft and getting ready to like be signed somewhere. That's what I really want, to be signed somewhere that lets me Twitch stream, of course.
Right? Oh my God. Yeah.
Because my main goal in life right now is my main income being Twitch, and then secondary income being wrestling, or vice versa, where they support each other,
Gotcha.
Where I can just literally vlog myself going to a wrestling event, wrestle, post it online, come home, stream my wrestling match, chat with people, chat with other wrestlers, and that's just my week or my weekend,
Yeah.
That's my main goal, is make this a whole legitimate brand.
Nah, it's a good strategy. So what would the 1 year plan look like?
Probably get in better shape.
Get that six pack, hoot.
Get that six pack, because that's what's really like pulling me back right now.
Yeah.
I had a match last night, of course, my first match back, and they said I didn't lose a single step. They said I stole the freaking show. The only issue was my body.
They told you that too? God damn it.
They said that. Everywhere says that. I'm like, yeah, I know. I need to fix this body. I need to tighten everything up a little bit,
Yeah.
So I think once I do that, it's off to the races, because I have everything else pretty set in stone. I have a good character. I'm solid in the ring. I can bring a broom up to a damn 4-star match. I'm pretty decent, and that's what I've heard. At least I criticize myself all the time. I hate my work.
See,
but
there you
everyone
go.
else
There
is
you
decent.
Go. That's how you have to be, Trent. That's exactly how you have to be, Toxic Trent. I hate, like, oh, that was great. That sucked. That I was supposed to go on the turn, and then he turned at the last second. I didn't see it, and then it's just terrible. No, it was great, Trent. No, it was terrible. You don't tell me my shit is terrible. That's how. When you're like that, no one can ever fuck with you, because you're your own greatest critic. Unless it's someone you look up to, and then they say they're like fuck. But if it's anybody else, you don't give a shit. That's how you gotta be. So hey, man, you gotta become a bodyguard, dude. That's all there is to it. I can't give you that advice because I'm shaped like a keg, but whatever. Anyway, that's just not.
I looked
that's
like
a
the
whole-
6-pack got opened up and poured in my stomach. So.
Pretty much, yeah, man. Like, I had like a whole string. Like, I was getting my shit together, and then I hurt my back, and it's been downhill ever since. I got to turn it around. Anyway, before we go, you have a series, so this probably blends into the whole series that you're doing or maybe working on. But do you have any advice for anyone listening that might want to get into professional wrestling?
I guess it's the main theme of this podcast, leap of faith.
There you go.
Just take your leap of faith. If you're really passionate and you know you have the ability to actually do this, take the leap of faith and jump in there because you never know. I've seen people who are ripped to hell quit, and the nerdiest pieces of shit that you thought would quit in the first day, they're still wrestling, and now they're decent stars. Not decent stars. They're a little higher than me right now, So
Yeah.
like I think everyone has a shot as long as you have the mindset. And the moment you take your first bump, that should be the moment where you realize whether this is ready, this is what I want to do, or whether or not I should be leaving right now and I should just pack my bags and dip.
It's funny you say that because I had a friend a couple years ago that he was trained to be a wrestler and he took a body slam and was like, nope.
Yep.
Like, nah, I'm
that
not.
first bump.
He's like, nah, I'm good. It's like, fuck that shit. I don't want to be. Nah, I don't ever like. I don't like people touching me. So if someone fucking hoists me over their head, nah, be the fuck. You drop me like you scoop me on purpose and you scoop me wrong. Nah, I can't. I couldn't do that. I couldn't be no wrestler. I do a manager, maybe a promoter, never a booker because I can't book for shit. But yeah, nah, man, that wrestling shit is that's for y'all, not for me. I sit there and conscientious observe and give y'all props. Do you have that series though, or is that just like a one-time thing? Because I saw something on YouTube where you're basically giving wrestling advice, not as an expert, but basically your barometer, if you will, on wrestling, on professional wrestling. Is that series still going? You're doing?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to make that a series. I'm on episode 2 right now. I have a bunch of more comments I want to answer. So I think I'll be recording that hopefully sometime this week and uploading it sometime next week. But I definitely want to make that like a weekly thing where like I do a Q&A with like someone my level of wrestling, I kind of want to get other wrestlers on there and get their takes on stuff too. Because my opinion's not valid at all, but no one else's is either because they're all opinions.
There you go. Fair enough.
So if I get other opinions, you'll get a broader sense of like the correct answer,
Got you. Like, what's the name of the series?
I don't really have one. Just literally.
I thought it was like
Toxic Trent.
Oh, is that something? I thought it had a name. Oh, whatever. I'm trying to plug and I can't plug properly. Anyway, so I think that about covers it. This has been dope. So this is the part of the podcast where you do what it is that you do, and people like you, where you plug all of your things. Plug all of them.
Okay. Well, you could follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. All of the names are The Toxic Trent because Toxic Trent was taken by one person on Twitter who hasn't been on there since 2013. I'm really upset about that.
Jesus.
But The Toxic Trent, look it up. I'm live every Monday, Thursday, and Friday on Twitch. And every pay-per-view we do a live react. And the Big 4 pay-per-view, or I guess Big 5 these days, my wife will be on stream. And we do bits for chops. For every 100 bits, she'll chop me.
She'll chop you?
She will chop me.
Is she in the business?
She is not, but I trained her in the chops.
Oh, Jesus.
So, and I have some nasty chops, and so does she.
Oh, God. So, wait, you know what? If it works, or speaking of congratulations, you said you made 1 year, right? A couple days ago or recently, something like that? 1 year anniversary or?
That was October.
Oh, so. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that.
You're good. You're good.
That's what happens when the brain gets rattled. So anyway, that's going to do it for us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for and then Toxic Trent for taking time out of his schedule for being with us. This is a wonderful conversation. I hope y'all have learned something. I hope y'all had a good time. We see you on the next go round. Take it easy.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
So that was the show. That was Toxic Trent. That was a wild ass ride. A lot of fun, a lot of good conversation that took place. it's kind of crazy, man, that someone that suffers with anxiety like that was able to carve himself a niche and do these things. So that just goes to show you, sometimes you gotta, like what he said, man, leap of faith, baby. You gotta take that leap of faith and believe in yourself. So that being said, some quick announcements. Don't forget to catch OCWFed on YouTube at OCWFedTV. Did I say that right? I said that incorrectly. It's youtube.com/OCWFedTV. That's TNV. And we have an event coming up, Road to Glory. That's going to be on April 24th. That should be a Saturday, if I'm correct, at 3 p.m. on twitch.tv/OCWFed. It will be live and direct from the 1-6. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be fun. Looking like a lot of good competitive matches from some of the best players on Xbox and PS4 and both. Don't forget to check that out. Road to Glory, April 24th, 3 p.m. twitch.tv/OCWFed. And as always, don't forget to support our friends like Toxic Trent, Tony Cini, and everybody in between on their socials. And don't forget to support us also on Twitter at twitter.com/OCWFed. OCWFED, the good one. And if you'd like to be a guest, same goddamn thing. Just go to Twitter and hit me up, hit us up, and we'll get to chit chat. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a good night. God bless.